Oh. I'm in.
All right, I'm gonna grab that coffee.
Prairie Fire will keep you fueled.
Prairie Fire Cup. Yeah. I gotta keep my label turn around.
I don't want Prairie Fire people though. God, how can anybody have their headphones that loud?
In Florham Park, New Jersey, quarterback Justin Fields addressing the media Wednesday for the first time since signing his 2-year, $40 million deal, telling reporters he does have something to prove this season and hopes to continue to improve off of last season when he went 4-2 as the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence underwent surgery on his non-throwing shoulder in December and told reporters Wednesday he is optimistic to be a full go by the start of training camp and then the season. He said he's already back to throwing. An NFL Network insider, Mike Garafolo, is reporting that Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers visited the Colts on Wednesday. Ewers visited the Raiders recently as well. Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson are set to compete for the starting job in Indy. The team could also add options in the draft as well. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house. I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, huh?
My brother got like $2 and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam.
Money to get that 19-year-old boy
right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
Hello, friends. It's a tradition unlike any other. It's Sports Daily here on KFH on a Thursday. Tommy Kester, Brandon Zinner to my right this morning, Max Power producing the program. The KFH hotline is open at 869-1240. We would love to get your comments here on the program as we roll forward this morning and get into everything that we've got on the agenda today. You can leave your video comments on our video stream. We are streaming live on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, on the 12 News Connected app. You can leave your comments there on the stream. We will get to them as the show progresses. And you can leave your voice messages for us on the free Odyssey app. Click the microphone next to the KFH radio logo, and you can leave us a voicemail. We will also get to that as the show goes on. It's a big day, Brandon. Welcome in. First off, glad to have you here.
Yeah, you said everyone can leave their comments. They can also send their best wishes to you as you prepare for. I can't even imagine the emotional roller coaster that is getting to. I don't know if you even discussed it.
I have. We talked about it a little bit this week. Yeah. So
the dream trip, and I told you weeks ago how jealous I am, and I'm going to be living vicariously through you on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't even know right now how to put it into words. So I'm going to the final round of the Masters, and today's the opening round of the Masters. So 72 hours from now, I'll be in Augusta. I'll be at Augusta National. And again, I don't even know how to put it into words. I've always been a Masters fan, right? Like everybody is. But there's something different when you're leading up to it, and like they just the first tee time off just left, number one to kick off the tournament, and now it's all real to me, right? Like it's all real. Like this is happening, and it's gonna take place, and it's a huge weekend anyway for golf fans. I don't know. I'm gonna be locked in the entire time.
Yeah, there's obviously a number of events when you're a sports fan that you kind of look to, like, oh, my dream trip, what would it be? Would it be Game 7 of the World Series? Would it be the Super Bowl? The Masters final round has always been that one that's up above everything for me. So yeah, I can't wait to hear your stories from it coming next week.
I mean, you've done Super Bowls, right? Like
I've been to three. One from a hotel room when I had COVID, but we've discussed that story way too many times. So, but yeah, I've been to 3 Super Bowls. Those are absolutely amazing, great experiences. But yeah, final round of the Masters. That's on the bucket list next.
Yeah, it's funny because like this golf tournament, probably more so than any other golf tournament that's out there, is on the same par as you mentioned, like the Super Bowl or March Madness or opening day for Major League Baseball, the World Series, like all of that. This is the one time a year when even like non-avid golf fans can really get into the game.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I was thinking about it on my way in. It's just a golf tournament that just feels, it seems so pure. I don't know what's so pure about guys playing for the chance to win a $10 million prize, but yeah, it's just something that the roots go so far back. The presentation is so well done. It just looks the same every single year. I mean, yeah, it's just it's an event unlike any other.
I saw somebody on social media the other day equate it to the adult male version of Disney World, and I think that makes sense, right? Yeah. Because like you go to Magic Kingdom, you go to Disney World when you're a kid, and it's your first time there. You've seen it on TV, you've seen it in the movies, like all the pomp and circumstance surrounding Disney World, and then you go and you step foot, and that's why they call it, the most magical place on earth or the greatest, whatever it is. That's kind of the way that, not even adult males, just adults in general, you grow up watching the Masters. A lot of people do, and then you step foot on this hallowed ground of Augusta National, and it is pure and pristine. And like you mentioned, it never changes the way the presentation is. Even just the way that if you watch it on TV, how different it is than watching any other golf tournament on TV. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see a lot of commercials. You're going to hear, the fans referred to as patrons. Just the way, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just different.
Yeah, and like when you anticipate getting to hole 16 and hearing from a bird, like there's just little nuances that are just it brings you back in time. It feels like I've been doing this my whole life. I don't even know how much you're aware of it. The last couple of years, the whole what is your Roman Empire?
Sure.
Yeah. The Masters is my Roman Empire. It'll be a random Wednesday in September. I'll be just doing whatever. I'm like, man, I cannot wait to watch the Masters in 7 months. Right. There's just something that just brings you back, and it feels like home for 4 days every single April.
It's funny because like on that same note, and I think it's usually I don't think they do it around. I might be wrong during NFL playoff time, but typically March Madness, you see the first commercial on CBS for it, and I'm always like the very first one that I see, like I get chills. I'm like, right? Oh, I forgot. Like we're not that far. Like we're knocking on the door of it,
and it's just a little 10-second thing, and all it is just. It just says the Masters coming in April. And it's just the piano in the background, a little green screen. You're like, oh, yeah. It's like sometime usually in February, it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to start getting a little winter defrost coming. And this is kind of the first sign of, spring, summer is here. We got the NFL draft in just a couple of weeks. And then once we'll be at the ballpark all summer long, and then football's here right before you know.
I know it's one of my favorite sporting weekends of the entire year, and we had national championship a few days ago in college basketball, rolling right into the Masters, Major League Baseball. We're going to get into Major League Baseball and the Royals specifically as the program goes on, as they get shut out by the Twins last night at Kauffman Stadium. We'll get into all of that. We'll also talk more Masters. We'll talk about the actual golf tournament. I want to get Brandon's take on some of the pairings, some of his predictions, and if he's made any bets or anything on the Masters. So we'll get into all of that as the show progresses here this morning, because it's a big day. It's a big next few days for sure, especially if you are a golf fan. Before we take our first break, right as we're getting going off the top here on Sports Daily, I want to remind you about Open Streets ICT. It's coming up on Sunday at Wichita State, the WSU and Shocker Neighborhood Open Streets ICT. Again, this Sunday from noon until 4. It's a free community event. It transforms nearly 2 miles of 17th Street from Oliver to Volusia into a lively hub for walking, biking, running, and skating. Attendees can enjoy local food trucks, live music, performances, and various vendors along the route. The event promotes healthy living and community engagement. We love being a part of Open Streets ICT here at Odyssey. We're a part of all of them with the city of Wichita and all the different partners that they have with Open Streets. I know there's one a little bit later on this year that's downtown on Douglas, but this is the very first one that's over by Wichita State. Again, this Sunday from noon until 4. I think the big thing about it for folks to know, if you're looking to do something fun and get out and enjoy the weather, enjoy springtime outside on a Sunday, is that this is absolutely free. You can bring the entire family out and just come out and enjoy it and get that exercising, get the walking, the biking, the running, and the skating. Again, from noon until 4 this Sunday, Open Streets ICT again on 17th Street from Oliver to Volusia over by Wichita State and the Shocker neighborhood. I want to thank Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us caffeinated and fueled up every single day here on Sports Daily. I'm going to need it over the next couple of days. I fly out to the Masters, Brandon, at like 5:30 in the morning on Saturday.
I don't know if they're going to let you bring that thermos past but you might, Prairie Fire, they're a sponsor. Come on, we have to do it.
We got to do it. So we appreciate Prairie Fire Coffee for their support of the program. We are just getting underway here on a Thursday. It's Sports Daily. Tommy Castor and Brandon Zitter. Coming right back.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of it's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Sports Daily here on Thursday. Tommy Castro, Brandon Zinner, Max Power producing the program today. Got a lot to get to here on the program. We'll get into Royals baseball a little bit later on in the program as they're in the middle of a set against the Minnesota Twins at Kauffman Stadium. We'll talk about the outcome last night. Not great for the Royals, but we'll do that a little bit later on here in the program. Brandon, we were talking about the Masters before the break. Opening round of the Masters at Augusta right now. The first couple of times are off and ready to go. Who do you like in the tournament? I mean, I know that obviously defending champion Scotty Scheffler, he's a guy that just can go out and win at any time. He's won 2 of the last 3 Masters. Is that something where, I know there's going to be no such thing as an auto bet in golf, but are you leaning on him or do you think it's going to be somebody else?
I mean, Scotty's always going to be a favorite going into every single tournament, and I do like him to be there. At the end of the weekend, I think the form that Rory McIlroy is in, it's hard to not that he's the only guy to have multiple wins on the PGA Tour this year. He won just a couple weeks ago to finish off a career Grand Slam. It's hard to not lean on Rory this weekend and want to root for that guy. How close he came at the U.S. Open last year. Just as I said, how good a form he's in. I also am high on Minwoo Lee this week, coming off of a win a week ago. I really like him going into this week.
He's fun to watch, by the way, too.
Yeah, he's kind of like this next wave of this next generation of golfers. He gets the social media, the everything like that. He is just such a blast. And then Justin Thomas as well is playing really, really well, which is so weird because he was one of the absolute worst golfers on the planet a year ago. We're talking about he was like FedEx Cup, just trying to make the FedEx Cup at one point. And then he was able to find some form late last year. And then this year, he's been one of the best players on tour. He's back in the top 12 of the world golf rankings, which seemed unfathomable just a couple months ago. So if I was a betting man, Scotty, Rory, and I'm not saying I'm not a betting man, but just not yet. But yeah, Justin Thomas is someone that I'm looking to have a really good week as well. And with the Masters, you just got to be within striking distance going into Sunday. You got to make your move on Saturday. These first 2 rounds, just go put a number up, get to the weekend, and then anything can happen. So. Those are just some of the people I'm leaning on this week.
I heard this on my way in this morning. I was listening to some of the coverage of the opening round of the Masters driving into the studio this morning, and I didn't realize. I know that Rory historically has not gotten off to great starts at Augusta, but I didn't realize how bad it was. And I believe I might be butchering this, but I think in the last 5 or 6 years, Rory has averaged over 73 in his opening round.
Yeah.
And I think over that time, the winning scorer, whoever wins, averages like a 68 in their opening round. So Rory has not gotten off to good starts.
Has been under par in the last 6 first rounds.
Totally. It's not been good starts for him. And I think that one of the things, and look, I'll be the first to say, I would love to see Rory win and get that monkey off of his back, be able to get the career Grand Slam. He's rounding into form. He won the Players, like all of that. There's something to be said for just that mental load and the emotional, like I've never won here. That pressure has got to be immense. And I'm not saying that Rory, I joke around with a buddy of mine on the golf course. I call him a mental midget because he just can't get out of his own way in his head. I'm not calling Rory a mental midget, but I don't think when we've seen that pressure, at least over the last few years, he hasn't always been able to deliver.
No, especially, you just got to go back to last summer at Pinehurst. He's on 18, and he makes that putt. We're probably looking at a playoff off the absolute worst.
That was like, what, an 18-inch putt?
Oh,
it was like nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing to it's easy for us to say up here. I probably send that putt off the green if I'm up there. He's had so many moments where he's been so close, and he had some years where he was really down and not looking like himself, and he's back playing his best golf at the right moments. And again, with a chance at a career Grand Slam, I do think if he gets to the weekend, he's gonna the crowd is gonna be there, and he's gonna be one of the guys that people are rooting for. Obviously everyone in the crowd loves Scotty at this moment in time, and if a guy like Phil Mickelson can get to the weekend, but there's gonna be a few people who are not rooting for Rory to go get it done this weekend. Just the people that are down there that just love and appreciate the history of golf. I think they want to see Rory finish this thing off.
I think so too. And you mentioned Phil Mickelson. I mean, you can just point directly at him with the way that he has tried to complete his career Grand Slam and never being able to get it done at the U.S. Open and having chances. He's gotten everything else. He's gotten the Masters, gotten the British Open, gotten the PGA, and every time he's been at the U.S. Open, even when he's had an opportunity to win a U.S. Open, he's not been able to. And Rory, his white whale is the Masters, has never been able to get that done to complete the career Grand Slam. So I think the pressure is for sure on his shoulders. I talked about the other day my favorite bets, like outright winners for the Masters. And, outside of Scotty Scheffler, obviously, I like Bryson DeChambeau. I like Xander Schauffele. You're talking about 2 major champions in the last year, and you can get pretty good odds on both of those guys. I'll tell you now bets I don't like. And Rory is one of them. I don't think Rory is getting good enough odds, knowing his history at Augusta. He's 6.5 to 1 right now to win the whole thing. I don't love that value.
No, I don't love the value. I more so like the story and the form, but yeah, the value versus where just history tells you the value probably should be. Yeah, those definitely don't line up.
I also don't love the Jordan Spieth value either. Simply because, and I know Jordan's won before, and he's 30 to 1. You get pretty good value on that. I think it should be more like 50 to 1 or 60 to 1 before I'm going to take a swing at Jordan Spieth, who really hasn't been in the mix to win a Masters in quite a while.
Yeah, and that's one of those guys when you look at some of the best golfers in the world, like, oh, which one do I see possibly not making it to the weekend? Like, I'm going to put Bryson in the weekend. I'm going to put Scotty, Rory, probably Justin Thomas. The likes of Brooks Koepka. Like, I expect Brooks to kind of be in the top 5 all weekend long. Spieth, I would not be surprised if we look at the leaderboard after Saturday and he missed the cut. He's that type of golfer in these big events sometimes.
I'm going to tell you. You mentioned Minwoo. Is that your dart throw? Like if you had kind of a guy down the list that you think could get it done.
That guy, and then so I'm in a Masters pool as well that my uncle runs every single year. I have him, and I have Joaquin Niemann for a deep cut as people that I think can be there at the end of the weekend. Those two, and then Denny McCarthy, because Denny McCarthy is one of the best putters on tour, strokes gained around the green. He's a great iron player. So yeah, those are my 3 deep cuts that I have.
Yeah, looking at their odds, Denny McCarthy is 150-1. And then you have to go, I think, way down unless I missed it to find Joaquin Niemann. I don't even know where Joaquin Niemann is on here as far as the odds are concerned.
We like we go away from the top of the leaderboard here. If you're trying to make some money, this is where you go.
My dart throw, and you have to go. It's 70. He's 75-1 right now. I love Akshay Bhatia as a guy that could get it done, and he's come on the scene over the last couple of years. He's a lefty.
That plays well at Masters.
He does play well at Masters. My favorite thing, this is kind of a side note about Akshay Bhatia. It was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember exactly the year, but he played in the Wichita Open. He was on the Corn Ferry Tour. And one of our great supporters of the program is Crestview Country Club. And he was willing at the time and gracious enough with this time to do a youth clinic with junior golfers at Crestview.
That's awesome.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure I wasn't there. I didn't watch it, but I saw pictures of it. And I'm pretty sure he was with them for quite a while, like a couple hours, like just hanging out with them and, teaching them some things, giving them some tips. And, now you're talking about a guy that, has burst onto the scene on the PGA Tour, has played well at the Masters before, and as a dart throw type guy, if you want to get good value for an outright winner, I mean, why not throw a dart at a guy that's going to get you 75-1 in Akshay Bhatia?
Yeah, Akshay has always been, for the last couple of years now, he's been one of my favorites to watch on tour. He's just, again, with this new wave, the younger generation of golfers, like I said, Minwoo Lee earlier, Akshay is right there as well. He's so vibrant and fun on the course. He looks like he's generally out there having fun and doesn't care about the money prize at all. He plays every round so free. I really, really do like Akshay going in this week. I was texting with my buddy yesterday, and we were talking about these deep cuts. Like I said, the Denny McCarthy's. He's a big Sepp Straka fan, and Akshay was a guy that we tossed around as well. It'd be awesome to go see him go get it done, and he has a really, really, really big following. He's probably going to be one of the when you look at the top 10 to 15, like just most followed, most rooted for players, he's going to be in that in the next couple of years. It'd be awesome to see him competing on the weekend and just get even more fans.
Well, we have our very first leaderboard update in the opening round of the Masters. Extremely early and a long way to go. I know that the big phrases with the Masters is that the tournament doesn't actually begin until the back nine on Sunday, but we got a long way to go. Davis Riley is out to a lead. He was the first tee time off this morning, and he's 1 under through his first 3 holes. Then you've got a handful of players that par through a hole or two, and a few players that it 1 over. It looks like conditions, at least, are going to be absolutely incredible at Augusta, basically the entire tournament. I know there might be a slight chance of some rain showers tomorrow, but you better believe that I have been keeping an eagle eye on the Augusta weather forecast. Basically, as soon as you get 10 days out, as soon as you can pull up a forecast for Augusta, I've been looking at it and refreshing it over and over and over again. But it looks like, at least condition-wise, it should be really, really good and really nice conditions for these guys.
And it should be for Joaquin Niemann. I just went and looked because the Joaquin Niemann disrespect coming from the other corner of the room. He's the 10th favorite, plus 3,300.
I know that. How does that happen? What has he done recently? I don't even know what he's done recently to be able to.
I'm not going to lie. So in my free time, I watch a lot of YouTube golf. We're not going to sit here and talk about it. It's brain rot. It's my brain rot that I enjoy. I've seen he's been in a couple videos that I've watched of late, and he's just been in form. He's a good iron player. He's a pretty good putter, good around the greens. Just one of the categories that I look for in these Masters type of events.
Who's your go-to YouTube golf account? Do you have several, or what do you?
So oddly enough, Bryson DeChambeau, for people who aren't aware yet, Bryson DeChambeau on the side, basically, he's posting YouTube videos every other week, doing fun challenges, going out and like playing from the red tees, stuff that I should probably do more often because my scores from tees behind the reds aren't all that great at the moment. But I really love like what Bryson DeChambeau has been able to do as far as molding the younger generation that is all about the TikTok, the YouTube, and everything, and bringing it to the game of golf. And he's done that by collaborating with a bunch of different YouTubers. There's a group out of oddly enough, there's 3 Kansas City kids called Good.
Yeah.
And they have over 2 million followers just about now on YouTube, and he plays with guys like that. And I guess it started by 3 guys from Kansas City, which is a really cool kind of localish story. Those are kind of the ones I lean on. Bryson's really cool to watch it. Yeah, just because that's a guy who's got out there. He's not obviously in it to make any money. Right. He's just trying to blend the young golfers out there with bringing them and giving more exposure to the game. And that's just a really cool thing. And for a guy who his image was as bad as anybody on the tour just 3 years ago,
it's a redemption story for Bryson. And one of the reasons why I've become a Bryson fan and
hard not to be
kind of root for him this weekend. I like Good because those guys are actually good at golf.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of Barstool golf.
Yeah.
I've kind of gone off.
I'm in them for the entertainment. Yeah, but
definitely golf. And then, a couple of the guys, I'm just going to be completely honest, annoy the hell out of me. Just drive me crazy. And, I'll just be honest. I don't like rigs. I'm not a rigs guy at all.
I'm not a Barstool guy. So
and he's with Barstool. I've kind of gone off of that. Have you ever watched Rick Shields? So you're a Rick Shields guy?
I watched Rick Shields upload a match last night where he played against Graham McDowell at Trump Doral. And Rick Shields, when you talk about the godfather of YouTube golf, that's Rick Shields. He was uploading videos 10 years ago about how to hit your 9-iron, and I should have been watching those videos a long time ago. But I love me some Rick Shields.
Yeah, I know it's that's a hobby of mine as well, like watching YouTube golf and getting into it and all of that. I'm going to pose a question for you as we continue to talk about the Masters here. And I actually asked your counterpart, TJ Cleland, this yesterday. And I want to get your take on it because we got I got his answer. I want to get your answer. This question was posted on social media. If you were playing at Augusta National, you were playing in the Masters conditions in the tournament, and you get to start with your ball on the green, the farthest spot away from the hole, and everybody else has to play from the regular tees, would you win the Masters?
I didn't listen yesterday, but I need to hear TJ's answer first because I just want to hear your answer first before I pose my answer.
So TJ says that yes, he would win the Masters if his ball was on the green to start out. And he told me, he was like, look, he goes, I bet I would 2 or 3 putt basically everything. And I'm like, you're out of your mind if you think you would 2 or 3 putt every single green. You've never putted greens like Augusta National before.
TJ, if you're listening this morning, in response to that, I'd like you to grab that putter out of your bag right now. It goes click. It sounds like a baseball bat. No offense to TJ. He can hit some shots.
It's offense to TJ.
Yeah, but the greens is not his strong suit. No, far from it. I mean, we're talking about a guy who, he played college baseball at Newman. No finesse there. He tries to drive the ball 320, and he can hit the ball far. But I'm not TJ. No, the greens are not your strong suit, but it's okay. Know your strengths. I think I'm pretty good around the greens.
Yeah. Do you think you'd win the Masters if you were able to do that?
I'd probably win by like 15 or 20. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. See, I'm humble. I'm humble enough to say I would not win the Masters, even if I got to start with my ball on the green. And I feel like I'm a pretty good putter. Like that's kind of a strength of my game. I feel like I would 4, 5, 6 putt those greens. I would putt it off the green.
Do I get a practice round?
Sure. Yeah, I would put it right into a bunker, and then I'd have to go grab a club and hit it out of the bunker. Like
I'm putting it out of the bunker. Yeah,
fair enough.
I want to know where your ball is on the green.
The farthest point
away from wherever the flag is.
Because
the ball. So we're talking like some of those greens you're talking like 150-foot putt probably through multiple slopes and undulations, and there is absolutely no way that I would win the Masters, even if I got that kind of head start.
So I'm not great. So if I forfeit every single hole, isn't that 72? I think that's right.
It is.
Yeah.
Is 72 going to win the Masters? Because I don't think it will.
Nope. I just need I just need like 4 3-putts a day. I get to 16 under. I might win by 4.
And you're probably gonna mix in some 7-putts in there. I would think.
I've almost 7-putted on normal greens.
Not to put you on the spot. Like, what's your handicap? Where do you typically?
Right now I'm about an 8.
Okay, so you and I are about the same. Like I'm a 7. I do not feel like I would be able to compete against the top players in the world, even if I got to start with the ball on the green. I mean, we're talking about greens that I don't remember the name of the CBS guy years ago that got banned from the Masters for saying that the greens were bikini waxed.
Oh yeah.
Like, we're not talking about fast greens. It was the dude with the mustache, the curly mustache.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I know exactly who you're talking about.
And he did all like the PGA events for CBS for like 40 years, but got banned from the Masters. Like the Augusta National folks banned him because he said that the greens were bikini waxed. And like, that's how fast those greens are. I don't think there's any way that you or I would win the Masters. Being Gary McCord, that's his name.
Yeah, that's right.
No way we would win the Masters. It's a fun conversation, though. Opening round of the Masters tournament underway now. We're going to talk Royals when we come back. Tommy Castro, Brandon Zinner, Sports Daily. We're coming right back.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20+ flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of... It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sports Day KFH. I'm Tommy Castor, Brandon Center in for Jake Albrock today. Max Power producing the program. That KFH hotline is open at 869-1240. You can give us a call if you've got any thoughts about the Masters or anything else that we're talking about here this morning on the program. In our next hour, Tim Fitzgerald from GoPowerCat.com will join us to talk about K-State and what's happening in the transfer portal, some movement with the Wildcats. We'll get into all of that with Tim Fitzgerald in our next hour. Brandon, let's get into the Royals last night, the third game of a 4-game set against the Minnesota Twins at Kauffman Stadium last night. And it was not a great offensive output for Kansas City last night. Of course, Joe Ryan pitched a phenomenal game for the Twins, and he's one of those guys that in his career has been elite against Kansas City.
9 appearances against Kansas City. He has never walked the Royals. I wish I owned something as well as Joe Ryan doesn't own the Royals yet. Now 7-0 against them. Yeah, it's one of those things where the Royals offense did have, I think it was like about 3 really good games in a row. I mean, this is just part of baseball, due for regression against a really good pitcher. And the Twins, I mean, outside of the White Sox, we knew were going to be terrible. The Rockies, we knew were going to be pretty bad. And this year, when you look at the duds of Major League Baseball, the Braves and the Twins were right there. You're the Braves fan. I'm the Twins fan. It's been bad for both of them, but they both have been absolute duds this year. And they're both due for a little regression as well, or a little, just a little get back to the mean. And for the Twins last night, I mean, Ty France, 3 hits. I mean, how many 3-hit games is he going to have this year? Probably 4. One of them happened to be last night, but just not a good night for the Twins offense, or for the Royals.
Yeah, the Royals had, I believe, like 2 base runners through the 7 innings that Joe Ryan pitched last night. And, it wasn't like the Royals were out of it until the 9th inning, and there were a couple of solo home runs, and the Twins were able to sort of break it open a little bit. So all in all, I don't think that there's really a whole lot to read into, like major concerns for the Royals necessarily, other than the fact that we really need to see offensively more consistency from the heart of the lineup. I know Vinny Pasquantino is driving in runs because he's had the table set for him, but his average is bad. It's below the Mendoza line right now.
171.
Yeah, it's not good. Bobby Witt Jr. is going to get things done, but even I think he would say that his average is below what his standard for himself would be. The average isn't great for Salvador Perez. They've been clutch when they needed to, but consistently, at least the heart of the lineup isn't really getting it done.
Yeah, Bobby has his one flaw so far in his career has been getting off these slow starts in April. And he had a great game on Sunday that I was there for covering for KWCH. He was a home run shy of the cycle. After that day, I believe his batting average was 297. We're like, hey, is Bobby Witt going to end April hitting 300? And since then, yeah, he's really struggled down to 255. It has not been good for him against the Twins. The Twins do notoriously play the Royals really, really well. But Bobby and Vinny and Salvi, I mean, yeah, you're looking at 255 average, 171 average, 196. I mean, Hunter Renfroe is even playable at this point. It's getting to the point where it is really bad. I mean, offensively, defensively, he got replaced by MJ Melendez last night. Drew Waters got called up yesterday, so that's going to be something to start looking for. Is Drew Waters going to start getting some run instead of Renfroe? I mean, yeah, the heart of that order, we need to start seeing something in the next week and a half.
I mean, I think that brings up a really good question, and I brought this up to TJ a couple of days ago. How close are we, do you think, to having the Hunter Renfroe experience be done in Kansas City? Because I agree with you. I think he's unplayable. I'm not sure you can trot him out. He's not been anywhere close to what the Royals expected him to be, either last season or this year so far.
Yeah, I think we've seen with Q that he's got to be patient with his guys. I mean, Hunter Renfroe could very well go out and have a 2-week span where he goes and he hits 3 home runs. He hits close to 300 over 2 weeks, but again, if it doesn't start clicking in April, I mean, they have people waiting in the wings. That's the thing. They don't really at other positions. If this was an infielder, I mean, when you're looking at this Royals organization, your infielders, they're in the majors right now. There's we don't know of any minor league infielders who are knocking on the door anytime soon. But there's guys in the minors. We just talked about Drew Waters being called up. Jack Caglione, that's the one who just continues to raise another 468-foot bomb on Tuesday. I mean, you have guys that are ready to play in the minors. So if Hunter Renfroe doesn't start clicking in the next 3 weeks, and then what are we doing? How much are you going to be losing by bringing up one of the best prospects in all of baseball, in Jack Caglione?
I think it's a good question, because we've seen Caglione just absolutely rake in the minors, at least so far, and when you've got a player of that caliber, and I understand the Royals wanting to be patient with him and bring him up slowly and make sure that they're not rushing him to the bigs and all of that. I get all of that. But, I mean, let's be honest. The Royals had 3 hits last night. And I know it's one game. But I think overall, from top to bottom, the offense, could, at least through the first 12 games, could probably use a spark. And I'll need to look up. I haven't looked up where the Royals rank in the league as far as offense and batting average and all of that. But I would imagine that they're not anywhere near the top, would be my guess. They've been getting it done, at least so far, with their pitching, with their bullpen, and with clutch at bats, but they've not been great with runners in scoring position so far this season.
Which is what they were great at last year.
And so, you wonder, does that speed up, or should that at least speed up and change the timeline potentially for Jack Caglione? But the caveat to it all, Brandon, is that it's not just an offensive thing for Caglione. Where the heck is he going to play in the field? Because you've got Salvi, you've got Pasquantino. Where would they even put it?
You probably can be your DH, depending on if you're going to play Freddie Freeman or Salvi behind the dish that night. I mean, or you're looking at just putting him in right field. Now, I do know that throughout spring training, outfield is. That's why he doesn't traditionally even play outfield. So okay, we're going to put you in the outfield. You're going to hit. We're not even worrying about pitching at this point. That's if he gets to the major and things can click in the outfield. Like I said, probably just right field at this point. Because Jonathan India's playing a fine left field, and so you get that down, you get the hitting down. Then we'll worry about getting the major league pitching. I'm sure he's doing some throwing on his own just because he has that aspiration probably of being a two-way player. Then he can come be a one-inning reliever at some point down the road. But yeah, I think that Jack comes up, plays the outfield, DHs. I don't know if first base is really in his cards. I haven't heard anything about that. But as far as the Royals, you're asking about their offensive bats, 20th in the league in average, 26th in on-base percentage, of OBP of just 287, below the likes of the Astros, the Pirates, the Giants, the Guardians, who they're going to be chasing, only ahead of the White Sox, Rangers, Twins, and Reds. And those are teams that are not off to great starts. So not a great offensive start for the Royals.
That's not going to get it done long term. That's not. Those are not the stats, or especially not the slash line of a playoff team. And they're 6-6 right now, so they've been able to compensate early on. with really good pitching, with a bullpen, at least a back end of a bullpen that's been able to get things going and shut down. But you're dealing with inconsistency from the heart of your lineup. You're dealing with a guy, at least in Renfroe, that has been, to your point, unplayable through the first 12 games of the regular season. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to be, what that sort of kick in the pants has to be for Kansas City. But again, it's early. I don't want to overreact. I don't want to panic and have hyperbole about, all of it, and what they're doing offensively. But when their OPS is at, just slightly over 600, like, you don't want anybody in your starting lineup to have an OPS around 600. You'd like it to be at least 700 or higher. And the entire team's OPS is at 615 right now. Like, to your point, like, they are only ahead of the Reds, Twins, White Sox, Pirates, and Astros as far as OPS is concerned. So they're not getting off base at a high enough clip. They're not slugging at a high enough clip.
No.
Just in general, like, from top to bottom, this lineup really needs to kick it into high gear.
Yeah, I look at that their batting average against balls in play. They're right around the middle of the pack, which is a little that's a silver lining, that when balls are in play, they're getting on base at a relatively average clip. But I mean, we thought that this team, when you have Benny, you have Salvi, you have Bobby, that you expect to all probably hit over 30 home runs this year. Or at bats per home run right now, they're 66 at bats per home run. They're second to last in the league, which is a kind of crazy to look at. We are going to see some positive regression. They are playing. They've played games in Kansas City where it was cold. It was really cold for much of last week. They haven't played in real positive weather environments. Well, they're going to see some positive regression at some point. But yeah, as fans, we want to see it sooner than later.
They're going to need to. And, I think the only silver lining when you're looking at their offensive stats comparative to other teams in the league is that the teams beneath them, when it comes to OPS, you've got there are 5 teams beneath them currently. 2 of the 5 are in their division. So at least you're better than the Twins, you're better than the White Sox as far as offense is concerned. But it's really been the pitching, and that's what it's going to come down to. I think at least here in the short term, because I don't see, and maybe I'm being pessimistic, but I don't see a whole lot of. You mentioned that positive regression, or that the forward momentum offensively. I don't see that happening today. Like, I don't see that happening in the next couple of games. Like, this is going to be something probably more of a long-term fix for Kansas City to get their bats warmed up and to get things going. They're going to have to lean even more so on their pitching, I would think. And today's the getaway game for the Royals in Kansas City. It's a day game. You got day baseball at Kauffman. It's going to be a beautiful day, by the way. If I didn't live 3 hours away, I would consider getting the car and driving up there, because it's going to be beautiful at Kauffman. And you've got Michael Wacha. Wacha, out of the 5 starters, has probably been the worst for the Royals through the first 5
He has been worse, absolutely.
He has been. And so it's an opportunity for him to try to get things turned around a little bit. And especially right now, early on, as we talked about, if you're not going to be able to fully rely on your offense, you have to rely on your starters. And Wacha has been the most reliable guy so far.
I'm also going to call your bluff. The Masters is on today. You would not be making that trip to Kauffman, even if you lived about 20 minutes away. That's another story. But, especially this is a part of the schedule that it's still so – they still have 150 games to play left. But this is a tough stretch of baseball. You're going – we're working through next Sunday. So we're looking at a span of, 10 days? They go to Cleveland, to the Yankees, and then 4 at Detroit, which, you're going to see the likes of – you're going to see their top guys. You're going to see Tarek Skubal and Jack Flaherty likely lining up in the last 2 games there. This is – it could get – you could go lose out of these what we're looking at, 9 games, as I said. They could go 2-7 if they don't play their cards right and the offense doesn't show up against these teams that can absolutely slug it. They have some of the best pitching in the league. This is it's not time to panic by any means, but just pay attention a lot what you see on the diamond over the next week and a half for the Twins, for the Royals, because those are some absolute dogs you're going to be playing that are likely going to be playing for playoff spots in late September.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Anytime you've got divisional matchups, you've got to you got to take it seriously. And the Royals have the opportunity to take the series 3-1 at home against the Twins again with that game this afternoon at Kauffman. I think one thing to keep in mind and keep our eyes on with this game this afternoon, with how dominant Joe Ryan has been historically against the Royals, Bailey today for the Twins has been equally as bad against the Royals over his career. His ERA, I think, is over 9 in all of his starts against Kansas City in his career. So at least that's the good news. You got the dominant guy against Kansas City last night. Now you get the guy that's never been able to really get it done for the Twins on the bump, and he'll take on Michael Wacha. We'll have coverage of that game right here on KFH. First pitch is scheduled at 1:10 this afternoon, so you'll be able to join that coverage right here on KFH. Hour number 2 of Sports Daily is on the way next. Don't go away.
"66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust." Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, Tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour number 2 of Sports Daily on Thursday. Tommy Kester, Brandon Zinner, for Jacob Albrock, Matt Power producing the program. That KFH hotline is open at 869-1240, and you can also leave your video comments if you're watching our video stream on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. We're also simulcasting on the 12 News Connected app, and you can leave your voice messages right there on the Odyssey app. Click on the microphone button and leave us your voice messages. We can play them right back here on the air. We wrapped up our Royals talk a little bit ago. It's a big game at Kauffman Stadium. We'll have the action here on KFH beginning at 1 o'clock this afternoon, opening round of the Masters. We're keeping our eyes on the leaderboard right now. You've got a couple of guys at 1 under, in fact, 5 players at 1 under par right now through the first couple of holes. Some notable names there include Jonathan Vegas, past Masters champion Mike Weir, and Zach Johnson. Those guys all at 1 under par. Really early on, there are some pretty premier pairings and matchups as the day goes on. Scotty Scheffler tees off a little over an hour from now. There's a lot of excitement here in this opening day, opening round of the Masters tournament. Brandon, we've got a lot coming up this hour, including Tim Fitzgerald, our K-State insider, joining us a little bit later on to talk about K-State and news in the transfer portal. But real quick, in the short segment as we kick off this hour, you and I both were at opening night of the Wind Surge the other night. Great crowd out there at Equity Bank Park, and fun to have baseball back here in Wichita.
Yeah, just under 6,000 out there. The announced attendance at opening day of the Wind Surge. It's going to be a fun year for the Wind Surge. They have got some of the top Twins prospects who I think the Twins hope to see in the majors. With the case of Walker Jenkins, he goes on the 7-day IL next week with a foot injury that has been nagging just a little bit since spring training. Major Dinkelman told me in postgame that he kind of on Tuesday that he just tweaked it when they were in Springfield over the weekend. He didn't play in the field at all in Springfield because they were being cautious. He's going to be an exciting guy to watch. I think the Twins have the hopes of he could break into Major League camp later this year. If not, you're looking at him being possibly a starting outfielder for the Twins next year. Connor Prelip is one of the top pitchers in the organization. He could be pitching with pitching injuries, could be in the majors later this year. And then a guy like Ricardo Olivar leading off for them. He's off to a good start to the season. Just a lot of good faces that we're looking at legit Major League prospects here in Wichita.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a guy who is not only the top prospect for the Twins, but one of the top prospects in the entire league. And I know he's on the IL right now, but he's a guy that once he comes off that IL, he's going to more than likely electrify the fan base. Like get out to Equity Bank Park once he's healthy and make sure to check this guy out, because you're talking about a future star in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, when you look at the people who have passed through Wichita, the likes of the Royce Lewises, the Jose Mirandas, I mean, this is that. He might even be higher caliber than. I mean, this is a former top 5 pick in all of the Major League draft that we're talking about coming right here to Wichita. So, arguably, maybe the biggest prospect to ever come through the Twins organization and come through Wichita as well. It's going to be an exciting summer. They have, even on my off days, I love getting out to the ballpark. I'm going tonight.
Okay.
I mean, when you're talking 70s, downtown Wichita. Everything that comes with just going to the Windsor and going to baseball games. I love I go out there and I just hang out by myself because I love being in the atmosphere. I love it. And they have some great food, drinks out there. They have new buffalo chicken fries that are new additions to the menu this year that I was lucky enough to try on Tuesday. And I'll tell you, if you're out at the ballpark and you need a little fixing for some food, get the buffalo chicken fries.
I'm a simple guy. I just want a brat and a beer and some peanuts, and I'm good. Like I don't need. I'm sure buffalo chicken fries.
I will say I didn't buy it. It was given.
Fair enough. Yeah. Let me give you a little bit of advice here, just as friend of friend,
okay,
and a guy that used to be in your shoes when I was a little bit younger and didn't have kids and all of that. Soak up as much of that as you can, because I'm the same way that you are. Like there's nothing I love more than just like relaxing at the ballpark. I'm like you. I could go by myself, take my feet up, just watch the ball game and relax. I was at opening day. My situation was a little bit different than yours because I
saw you.
I was chasing my kids around.
Yeah, you were basically a baby.
I didn't know. Honestly, I couldn't. I know that the Windsor won, but I couldn't tell you how they won. I don't know. It was a completely different environment than before I had kids, when I could just go and kick my feet up and actually enjoy it.
Yeah, you didn't miss a whole lot with opening day. Yeah, they left some runners training and scoring position. It was a great pitching matchup. The search starter, he was able to go 5 innings. They were playing the Rockhounds. They were able to chase out their starter, I think, before the end of the 4th. So, I mean, it was only 3-1. You didn't miss a whole lot. There was a couple solo home runs, but
let me tell you a quick story from the game. This is just my life. This is just the way my life is. Right now with 2 little kids. So our youngest, and you and I were at a birthday party at Chicken and Pickle a couple weeks ago, and my youngest was with us. And one point, like mid conversation, I'm like, I gotta go. Like he's running away. So he is a maniac. I love him to death. He's a maniac. And there were a couple of older women that were sitting directly behind us at the game at Equity Bank Ballpark, and they were both grandmas, and like they were all about my youngest son, and like they were playing with him, and he was playing peekaboo, and like it was totally fine. Like they were basically entertaining him, so that was awesome. One of the women went up to the concession stand and got a soft pretzel, brought it back, and she was like, "Hey, would he like a bite of pretzel?" And of course, my wife and I are like, "Oh, thank you, that's so nice. You don't have to do that. Like, don't worry about it." Of course, my son wanted the pretzel. He's like, "Yeah, I want the pretzel." So he gets a little bite of pretzel, and he was so excited, and the woman was very, very nice about it. And then he proceeded to choke on the pretzel.
I didn't think that was where the story was.
I know. And so we're like hitting him on the back, like trying to get it dislodged. And finally it comes dislodged. And then my son proceeds to projectile vomit all across the entire row. And like the woman felt terrible about it, obviously. And my wife is doing the whole thing of like holding her hand under his mouth to try to catch the puke so it doesn't go on the people in front of us. And I'm just like, man, I used to love going to baseball games.
I hate it.
Why did we do this? Like this is, this was a terrible mistake, for us to go out there and do it. But it was totally fine. Everything was good. But it was a little bit of a different experience than you being able to kick your feet up and just enjoy watching a baseball game.
Yeah, I don't have any appetite to go have a pretzel at the baseball game tonight. No, but you do see the cool thing about the Surge is you see so many families that are out there.
It's a very family-friendly environment.
Now, maybe something happens like your situation every now and then. But no, if you are looking to say, oh man, we are always stuck in the house, and you can go out there. It's super cheap, super affordable. I mean, great. You can take your kids out to. They have a bouncy house out in the outfield, and just so many different areas you can go. You can go sit on the hill. Let them run up and down the hill. They're going to be rolling down there. They'll be worn out by the time you get home. I enjoy, like I said, going out to the Surge games. I'll be there probably multiple times every single home game because I'll be out there for work. I'll be out there on my off days, just as I said, soaking in some sun, some atmosphere. But yeah, the pretzel, not the go-to, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's delicious. I think my kid just, doesn't like to chew things up all the way.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But we'll be good, and I'm sure that we'll be taking them out to a lot more games. And I would encourage anybody. It's affordable entertainment, and definitely a great way to get out there and enjoy a baseball game. Real quick before we take the break, our first break of the hour, give you a quick Masters update. We got to do it. It's the opening round of the Masters in Augusta. We have a leader. Yeah, I got to do my Jim Nance.
Yeah. Hello, friend.
We have a leaderboard update. We need some kind, Max. We need some kind of like sounder, like a Masters leaderboard update, and like
just a little piano under bed.
Nice little piano. But leaderboard update. Zach Johnson, former Masters champion, is now in the lead at 2 under par. He's 2 under. And again, it's extremely early, but he's 2 under through 3. And I think it is important. You've got to have that course knowledge and that experience of being on the golf course. It's not like Zach Johnson usually, at this point in his career, competes at a super high level. But when you go out and play Augusta, you've won there before.
Oh. Hello, friends.
Hello. It's a tradition unlike any other. Zach Johnson with a 2 under par lead. I can't do it, Dance. I can't do that kind of deep voice.
Even worse, we were talking in the break about who Brandon has bets on.
Yeah.
Will Zalatoris, 1 over through 1.
Oh yeah, that's not
great for my Masters pool.
Yeah, not ideal. Zach Johnson 2 under par, and Jonathan Vegas, Mike Weir, Michael Kim, Chris Kirk, and Danny Willett all at 1 under par.
Danny Willett, former Masters champion.
Danny Willett at 1 under par, and then you've got a handful of other players.
Bernhard Longer,
even
final Masters. He got a green BMW or Mercedes. I think it was Mercedes, but
you know what I love about Bernhard Longer is
everything.
Well, yeah, he's phenomenal. The guy's like 68 years old or something. He's in better shape than I am.
I mean, yeah, that you look at Greg Norman. We obviously know how great of shape he's in, and him and Bernhard Longer. I strive to be anything like that. Growing up, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's in great shape. It's his final Masters. You've got all the former champions, not all of them, but a lot of the former champions playing in this tournament. I love Fred Couples.
He just teed off.
Like that is the most buttery swing of all time.
Best swing of all time.
Oh my God, it's just incredible. And so you've got really, 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 really fun golfers that are getting ready to tee off. And Max, I appreciate that. That was
beautiful. That was wonderful. Now we get to listen to Tim Fitzgerald. Even better.
Coming up a little bit later on this hour, Tim Fitzgerald, GoPowerCat.com, is going to join us. Some NBA news to get into that I want to talk about in our next segment. We'll do that on the other side. Tommy Castor, Braden Zinner, it's Sports Daily, and we're coming right back.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Sports Daily on KFH. Tommy Castor, along with Brandon Zinner, Max Power producing the program. In our next segment, Tim Fitzgerald, GoPowerCat.com, will join us to talk about all the updates with K-State and the transfer portal, everything going on in that world. We'll do that in our very next segment. Of course, it's the opening round of the Masters. Zach Johnson currently has a lead at 2 under par early on this opening round. A long way to go. But that's at least the way that things are standing right now in the Masters tournament. Let's talk a little NBA here, Brandon. It's been an interesting and busy couple of days in the NBA. You've got the firing of Michael Malone in Denver, which is kind of shocking. So we'll get into that. And then, of course, you've got the matchup between the Lakers and the Mavs and everything that happened with Luka Doncic and, all the chanting in Dallas for their GM to lose his job. Like, there's a lot of drama in the world of the NBA the last couple of days.
Yeah, it is a league that never sleeps. It is a league of pettiness and everything. Everyone talked about Luka last night, and poor Anthony Davis got absolutely no recognition. Just completely forget that he was a world champion with the Lakers just a couple of years ago.
Is he healthy? Like, is he back playing?
He started playing last night. Yeah,
okay, good.
Him and LeBron didn't even shake hands pregame. Wow. So there's again, like I said, a league of pettiness. Something happened last night. You have the the Ja Morant, there's been a lot of criticism and everything for the finger gun celebration that he did a couple weeks ago, and he did it again. And then so he starts doing a grenade celebration the other night, and then you have Dirk Nowitzki and Taylor Rooks that were. I don't know if you saw in the game last night. They're up in the suite and they're on camera. You got to talk about doing the jaw celebrations. Yeah, it's the league is at an all-time level of just absolute hysteria, and it's great. It's going to be an amazing playoff, especially in the Western Conference.
Is there any way in which at the end of this season, or let's even look to the beginning of next season in the NBA, is there a world in which Nico Harrison remains the GM of the Mavericks?
There is a world in which he does, but that doesn't mean it will be right. If you're the Mavericks, who knows what's going on? There's a lot of people in back channels saying that this is all part of them setting up a move to try to go to Vegas. Which would be why would you ever leave Dallas?
Markets in the country.
It makes absolutely no sense, but there's no. That's maybe we talk about so much the Herschel Walker trade being the absolute worst trade in the history of sports. But
this one's worse.
Absolutely, and that's great. As a Minnesota Vikings fan, I want someone to overtake the Herschel Walker trade. So the fact that you just give Luka basically for free to the Lakers, and who would have thought it? Now the Lakers are one of the best teams in the entire league.
You know what's wild in that game last night is that it wasn't like when the Lakers were shooting free throws or when they were in, they had the ball and they were trying to score. It wasn't like the Mavs fans were jeering and chanting against the Lakers. They were chanting "Fire Nico" while the Lakers. It wasn't even about the opponent last night. It was about all of the hatred is just centered around the general manager of that franchise. And I've never seen anything like that. I mean, really the closest that I can come up with is, there are times I know in the NFL, I remember when Scott Pioli was the GM of the Chiefs, and the Chiefs were so bad. There were people that were flying airplanes around the stadium with banners that said "Fire Pioli." But having an entire basically arena chanting "Fire Nico" while the opponent is shooting free throws is wild to me.
Yeah, and who would have thought that Luka would go back to Dallas and have a good game? How could he ever? 45 points, he made 6 threes. It was the most predictable thing in sports. If you weren't betting Luka's overs yesterday, you were just completely missing out. How everything has transpired in Dallas. That was a team that was in the finals last year.
Yep.
That was a team that was on the doorstep of they played the Celtics, which is one of the best teams of the last decade. They were that close to winning a title last year, and then they just decided to go ahead and blow everything up. And this is a team, remember the Mavericks, they also had Jalen Brunson, who's now probably a first-team All-NBA guy. This is just an organization that has just done nothing but be in good positions and just throw it away because of just dumb moves by management. They could very well have had won multiple championships by now since the end of the Dirk Nowitzki era, but they good for them for making the big bucks though and making these great decisions.
Well, and I think on top of it too, knowing that Anthony Davis was healthy and played, which honestly I didn't even realize that he was back, and healthy playing. But tracking what Luka did in the game versus what Anthony Davis did in the game. Davis had 13 points. It was quiet for him. He
was minus 10 and plus minus
5 of 13 shooting from the field. He did have 11 rebounds, so it was a double-double for him. But it wasn't like it was a dominant performance from Anthony Davis at all. And it just highlights what the Mavericks got in that trade versus what the Lakers got in Luka.
Yeah. It's even Bronny got some run last night, so that tells you just how great of a game this was. and I like Bronny, but it's Luka goes for 45, 8, and 6 with 4 steals. LeBron had a great second half. He finished with 27 points as well. 7 rebounds, and this is a Lakers team that the entire Western Conference, every single round you're gonna have this feels like a semifinal or a championship kind of matchup. Like right now, we could have the Nuggets and the Clippers in the first round. We could have the Lakers and the Warriors in the first round. It's gonna be absolute theater as opposed to the Eastern Conference where you could have the Pacers and the Bucks. I probably won't tune in for a single game of that. But yeah, the Western Conference Finals, it's going to be or the Western Conference standings, it's going to be awesome to watch in the playoffs.
Let's talk about another team in the Western Conference. The Denver Nuggets fired Michael Malone yesterday. This is a guy that delivered an NBA championship to Denver 2 years ago. Wasn't that long ago. He's got an overall, pretty good, actually really good record and winning percentage in his time with Denver. And they're a playoff team this year. Are they a championship team? Probably not. But you've got, anytime you've got Nikola Jokic. I mean, he had his 33rd triple-double last night in the wake of Michael Malone getting fired. I mean, the Nuggets, I know that they had lost a few games in a row, but they were 48-32. And you let Michael Malone go, who delivered you a championship. I'm not saying that that's as bad of a move as the Mavericks trading Luka to the Lakers. But when I saw that Malone got let go, I was floored. I'm like, why are you letting him go? Like, the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Not only him, but they also fired their GM. And yeah, the playoffs start. This is the last week of the regular season. They had lost 4 games in a row, but there's more behind the scenes that we don't fully know about. There was the clip from an interview just under a month ago that resurfaced where he called out the players like, oh, they're not watching film. We're going to have to tell them what they have to do anyway. That whole thing was resurfaced. So there was probably stuff behind the scenes that we'll learn from Shams or Brian Windhorst or David McMenamin in the coming weeks. We will learn what happens. Maybe not, but I mean, this is a team again that was just won the finals 2 years ago. They have the best player on earth. Still, all the pieces from that team. And you're talking Jamal Murray. They still have Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown is playing incredible for them. It makes no sense how they're in that situation.
And I don't. And the fact that, like, look, I understand that you slid a little bit. I think the Nuggets had lost 4 in a row before they let Malone go. But you've got such a tremendous amount of talent, and it's not like they're out of the playoffs.
They're in the 4 seed.
They're right. They're totally like they're a playoff team for sure. And if they can get it together, then they could be a contender. It's just shocking to me that you've got, and I understand that in that world, it's a what have you done for me lately, type situation. It's not like he can live off of an NBA championship from 2 years ago. I get that. I respect that. But at the same time, it's like, man, I understand you've got an interim coach now, but who are you going to go out there and get after this season that will do a better job than what Michael Malone has done for you?
Yeah, there is interesting as far as all the GM talk is already going on. So the Timberwolves GM, Tim Connolly, I'm a Timberwolves fan. I follow them. Tim Connolly came over. He was the president of basketball operations for the Nuggets, came over to the Timberwolves. So there's already steam of, look at everything that they've done in Minnesota. They got to a Western Conference Finals last year. We're going to bring Tim Connolly home. As a Timberwolves fan, I absolutely would hate that because he's been tremendous in Minnesota. So there's already that kind of sort of talk. I haven't really looked into names that are floating around for who would be their head coach or who they're going to go after. Yeah. I can't even, no one pops up off the top of my head. Now, maybe there's some people, obviously, that are going to be surfaced from the college ranks. Maybe a Dan Hurley. Yeah. I mean, I know he just signed a long contract, but he didn't have to
turn down the Lakers, right? So I don't know if he got the Nuggets.
Yeah, but then he did that and he got a pay raise. So who knows? You're never going to count anybody out. Let's just go ahead and throw Bill Self out there. Just no, it's not going to happen. I'm just trying to troll people. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Denver goes. I mean, I'm a week before the playoffs, really thinking.
Yeah, especially considering that this is a team that they have the talent, and I know Jamal Murray is injured, but they've got the talent, to potentially make a little bit of noise in the playoffs. In the Western Conference is extremely difficult with Oklahoma City, and LA is on the come up with and all of that, and LeBron obviously. It's interesting. I was shocked when that happened. Definitely some big headlines. Some big headlines in the world of the NBA. With the time segment, Brandon. Before we get to Tim Fitzgerald in our next segment, there is one newsworthy item from the NFL yesterday. Tyreek Hill, drama. And police were called to his house with his wife for a domestic dispute. No charges were filed. Nobody was arrested. But definitely sounds pretty dramatic. It sounds like, according to TMZ, that his wife was filing for divorce, and that set him off, and there was an argument that ensued, and ultimately police were called to Tyreek Hill's house. An unfortunate situation. Unfortunately, the problem is, Brandon, this has happened far too often with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, it's the off-field situations are very well documented with Tyreek Hill from his time in Kansas City, and then since he moved to Miami. I mean,
Even going back to college, I mean, he got kicked out of the team at Oklahoma State.
Exactly. Yeah, it's followed him wherever he left. What he does now, there's all the talk about he's got all these kids with all these different women. What he does and what him and his wife decides okay is whatever. But yeah, these sort of incidents where violence is getting involved. I mean, it happens just far too often with Tyreek Hill, it's a shame with a guy that is just so talented. Who he very well could have never even got the chance in the NFL from what happened to Oklahoma State and whatnot. The Chiefs took the chance on him on day 3 of what I think back in 2017, and he's put up a Hall of Fame type of career. But yeah, these issues just keep following him wherever he goes, and it seems like it's something every single year. It's really unfortunate for every party involved.
It really is, and even when it's not a domestic type situation, which that's happened a few times, and of course this situation is the latest in that with Tyreek Hill. There have been other situations as well that have been disappointing, to say the least. And honestly, not all. Like I can think of one specifically that doesn't sound like it was his fault. The whole being detained outside of Hard Rock Stadium
an hour before
the game. That was not his fault, and unfortunately the drama follows him, and sometimes it's like, man, like how can he get away from that? That one wasn't his fault. I mean, he allegedly assaulted a guy on a boat dock in Miami a couple of years ago. He's in a lawsuit against a woman that is an influencer that said he broke her leg. They were doing some football type things. I mean, like, even the situation with him saying that he was done with Miami after the season, and was going to be out of there. Like all of those things, I'm just kind of like, man, Tyreek, can you keep your mouth shut? Can you keep your emotions in check? It's disappointing when things like this happen.
It's exactly what we saw, unfortunately, with the whole Antonio Brown saga for years. It's literally Antonio Brown to a T. And again, I mean, this is a guy that it's not a run-of-the-mill player. He's even better than Antonio Brown ever was. I mean, this is a Hall of Fame type player that we're looking at. And I think whenever the stuff in the offseason came about of I'm out of here, Miami, peace, everybody was always like, oh, Kansas City, look out for them. Now, Kansas City has never been one to shy away from a person with character issues, off the field, locker room stuff. They said, we're going to bring you in and we're going to go to win football games. But it'd be a hard sell on Tyreek Hill back to Kansas City at this point.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And unfortunately, this is the latest in a long string of incidents with Tyreek Hill off the field. And another one allegedly happened yesterday. Although it doesn't sound like there was anything physical, it was more of a verbal altercation, and then hopefully he's able to, move forward from this and keep his nose clean moving forward. But definitely a disappointing situation down there in Miami. We've got a couple of minutes until we go to break. Let's get you another Masters update. I keep wanting to go back and talk about the Masters. We have a leaderboard update. I mentioned Zach Johnson before at 2 under par. There's another player that joined him at the top of the leaderboard here early on. Chris Kirk is 2 under par. Thank you, Max. 2 under par as well. Both of those guys are through 4 holes. Some notable names at 1 under, including Bernhard Langer. 1 under par.
Get your bets in.
3 holes, and Freddie Couples at 1 under par as well. So a couple of the legends of the game, at least early on, starting off strong. And one of your favorites, Brian Harman, is also 1 under par.
I cannot stand watching Brian Harman play golf.
I love Brian Harman.
Dude, there's all this talk about pace of play, and it's all, regardless of who it's directed at, it's directed right at Brian Harman. Who needs to stand over a ball and waggle their club? If he pops up here on this screen sometime, I mean, one time watching the Open 2 years ago, I was on a golf trip to Branson, Missouri. If you've never taken a golf trip to Branson, Missouri, go do it. It is such an underrated golf club. The day before we were playing Ozarks National, we're watching the Open. I counted 17 waggles before he hit 1 ball. And, I don't like that name, but how about the whole names at Augusta National? That's also like number one, tea olive.
Yes.
Like where do we go? I mean, hole 6, juniper.
The juniper hole.
Carolina cherry. Redbud. I mean,
So
it adds to everything about Augusta National. I love it.
I mean, look, I'll tell you right now that the Brian Harmon Club Waggle is a tradition unlike any other in and of itself.
It is.
And I know they're not going to do it at Masters, but there are tournaments where they will put a counter on the screen and count the number. I love it. I love counting the number of club waggles that Brian Harmon does. And the Duke just won. He just won last week on the PGA.
Which is why it's fresh in my mind, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a Brian Harmon fan. He's also a lefty. I've got a soft spot for lefties.
If he was a righty, you'd hate it.
You're probably right about that. But he's a small guy. He's a tiny guy, and he wins golf tournaments. And he currently is 1 under par. As I mentioned, Zach Johnson and Chris Kirk tied for the lead at 2 under par on our Masters update. I'm gonna keep doing this. We're gonna do this tomorrow as well.
I will say we get off the air coming up later this hour, and perfectly the tee time at 8:58 Central Time. Captain America, Keegan Bradley. We also have former Masters champion Jason Day and lefty Phil Mickelson. That is amazing. That's going to carry us into the afternoon slates. Then we get like Adam Scott, Xander Schauffele, and Victor Hovland. Oh my gosh. We got some great golf. And then Rory, Ludwig Aubert, and Akshay Bhatia. We have some great golf to come all day long.
Man, it's going to be amazing. Of course, the defending champion, Scotty Scheffler, tees off, I believe, around 9:30-ish or so, somewhere around 9:15. So that will be fun to watch also and see if he'll be able to regain the green jacket for a third in the last 4 years. That's a major storyline for sure if Scheffler is able to do that. So we'll, of course, give you updates about the Masters as the morning goes on. On the other side, I want to get Tim Fitzgerald's thoughts about the Masters. We'll talk to him about that. GoPowerCat.com. He will join us on the other side of this break. It's a Thursday on Sports Daily. Tommy Castor, Brandon Zinner, Max Power producing the program. We'll be right back.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of... It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Sports Daily here on KFH. I'm the caster, Brandon Zinner, joining us, Tim Fitzgerald here as our K-State Insider. Hey, Fitz, we're talking Masters today. Are you a Masters guy?
I'm not a big golf fan. I grew up around golf, and now it just makes me fall asleep.
I mean, it's a great way to take a nap.
It's a great way to take a nap. And you know what? Any sport that involves me walking long distances is not good.
Right.
Taking up a lot of time, not good. But
Right.
does include a beer cart. And that's kind of the only thing I'm really interested in with the game.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look, like any way that you can just enjoy a nice beer and take a nap, sounds like a great pastime for me.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's everything that leads up to getting the beer on the golf course that I'm out on. I think we should normalize beer carts like ice cream trucks.
I like that. Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, we ought to have that on golf courses, and everything should be good to go from that. Hey, let's get into the transfer portal and talk K-State a little bit, Fitz. Really, the big news the last couple of days, Rittenhausen in the transfer portal. Is that surprising to you? What was the story behind that?
Yeah, apparently he decided there was money to be found elsewhere, that the portal was too tempting. Now we're talking about a guy who played sparingly at Villanova, found a role at Kansas State as a starter, played about 30 minutes a game, got an opportunity to show his complete game, and said he loved Manhattan. Oh, you're going to pay me $5 more? I'm out. That's kind of what the transfer portal has become. And I think one of the things ruining college athletics isn't the portal; it's the people behind the portal, the unregistered agents, the influencers that are simply talking kids into the portal so they can get a cut of that money. And it's shameful and disgusting. And the NCAA or someone has to take control of these influencers that are, basically stealing from student athletes.
Yeah, when you look at the Brendan Housen situation, do you think that this was something that was brewing? Was it something that, as you said, they come up at the end and it's kind of a surprise to the staff? Do they expect to have Brendan Housen back?
Yeah, they did. I think everything I'm hearing they did. But, they also were going to recruit over him because we saw a guy with great pieces of his game, but not an entire game. I honestly thought he played too much last season. So I don't think this is something they're going to be horrified by. They can go out and find someone who in reality shoots as well as Brendan Housen. In practice, he was really good. If you put his 2 feet in one spot and let him spot up and shoot the ball, he's fantastic. That doesn't happen that often in a game.
You can unmute me. That'd be great. I don't think Fitz can hear me. There we go. Can you hear me now, Fitz?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So there was an addition, though, for the Wildcats from the portal. They were able to get Bashir into the program. And that, he's a guy that is, at least as far as shooting is concerned, from Monmouth, he's a scorer. He's able to score at a high clip. And so it's not like that, at this point, Jerome Tang has not been able to land anybody. At least he's got somebody that can be a pretty high level scorer for the team.
Well, I don't know if he's that role. I think one of the things fans and the media do with the transfer portal is think that every guy that comes through it is the answer. It's supposed to be the guy. And I think Abdi Bashir is a piece of the puzzle. If you look back at what he did at Monmouth, he shot the ball a lot, didn't shoot it for a particularly high percentage, turned the ball over too much. And I don't mean these as insults to his game. He's simply someone who was the best player by far on a bad team and asked to do a lot and probably exceeding what he should be doing without making mistakes. And we'll see how that translates to having less of that pressure. Does his shooting percentage go up and turnovers go down? We just don't know. He has potential to be something. And that's the thing about the portal is maybe where you were didn't define you as a player. It defined how you had to play within where you were. And now we're going to find out.
So we have Buddy Rich, who is now in the portal as well. So him and Housen outgoing. We know the guys who have graduated. Is there anybody else that the staff is possibly bracing for losing? What could be on the horizon as far as outgoing? Is there going to be any more movement of people leaving K-State?
Well, I got to be honest. I'm kind of shocked Ugonna Onyenso is still on the roster. I thought he would transfer. That was all the talk during the season, that he didn't feel like he fit into what K-State wanted. And honestly, he hasn't been that overly effective and consistent. And in some ways, he defines how Kansas State has failed in the portal, because we're talking about a 4-star guy that has a huge upside, looks the part, should be the part, and just wasn't quite as good as expected. And I think they know there's something there, and maybe they've talked him into staying. I was told up to 2 people would be in the portal, but Housen was not on that list, I'm sure. So, maybe there's someone else lurking out there. It's been a strange, sluggish start to the portal for K-State in both directions, going in and coming. Guys waited a while to do it. Maybe they're still waiting. But K-State has a lot of work to do on the recruiting trail, and we're tracking that pretty closely at GoPowerCat.com. In fact, later this morning, a VIP podcast will go up outlining some of those prospects.
Talking to Tim Fitzgerald, GoPowerCat.com, our K-State insider here on Sports Daily. I thought it was really interesting, Fitz. I was watching some of the Final Four national championship coverage from over the weekend from the Field of 68, the Jeff Goodman and John Fanta platform. And they had Jerome Tang on with them. And I thought he had some pretty interesting comments with those guys, mainly talking about the impact of NIL, not on the locker room, but the impact of NIL on himself as a head coach. And, to me, it was the first time that I had heard him actually speak about, how that money and the money that was paid out to the roster really impact the way that he was coaching a team and things that he wanted to do better in the future. I mean, he would flat out said that he was not the best version of himself this year. Knowing, obviously how close you are with the program and being able to, follow it day in and day out. Did you notice that as well? Did you ever get an indication that, Tang was not the best version of himself this year?
Yeah, he seemed a little bit off. There's no doubt about that. Look, I'm going to be really honest. I think he's been off since the entire blow up of the university president 2 seasons ago. And I felt like that transformed him and knocked him off center. But a lot of fans pushed back on his comments. And I thought the one thing he said that really jumped out at me was about how he was treating players getting huge amounts of NIL money as professionals and not as college athletes, because these kids are getting the best of both worlds. I get to be treated like a college athlete, not a professional, but I get to be a professional financially. And I think he was handling young people like they would take care of their business like a professional, and they didn't. And it kind of blew up things, and he had to backtrack and start coaching them just like kids. That's the entire mess of the NIL encapsulated right there on that podcast. We are giving massive amounts of money to people not prepared for it, and it is not in their best interest other than financially. And, for most people, some are handling it just fine. But this has just been a madhouse, the NIL and the transfer portal, and no rational people have taken control of it, and coaches are left holding the bag trying to find their way, and it's not been easy.
We heard Tang say late in the year, or maybe it was at the very end of the year, that he needed to reevaluate how he went about building the team and going NIL versus program guys like we saw historically with K-State. Is that even a realistic option, do you believe, at this point? Are the days of getting 3 guys and keeping them on the team for 3-4 years? I mean, we saw it. We just with I think the Sweet 16, there was only 3 teams that had 3 guys who were starters on that team the year before. Is it even realistic to have program guys like that anymore, as far as maybe more than 1 or 2?
Yeah, Brandon, it's a great point. I'm not sure. But you have to have a framework of a roster, whether that is someone you recruited at a high school or a guy like David Gasson, who came as a sophomore and was with your program for 3 years. You just have to find a way to handle that and not be flipping your roster every year. There was a movement with this coaching staff to only recruit 5-star guys out of high school and do the portal. And then when the season just collapsed early on, they realized this is not the gold we thought we were mining, and we're going to have to back up. The issue here is backing up to build that framework is starting over, and it won't be an easy process. It's not a 1-year process. It's kind of like coming off drugs. You can't, if you go cold with it, you're going to have issues. And now they've got to find a way to walk off this reliance on the transfer portal, which they're still going to have to do for this year, but maybe not in the huge numbers they have in the past.
In this day and age, is it even feasible for coaches and players to get that luxury of time of, we want to build something? I don't even know if that is feasible these days, because there's so much we want to win now. There's pressure from donors, university. I mean, I can't imagine being a coach in this day and age of basketball.
I mean, I think that right now, until there ends up being, some of these guardrails in place, and if we're headed towards a salary cap of some kind or whatever that looks like, where we're going to go, I think until that time, there's going to be these expectations to win right away.
Yeah, it's a mess. It really is, because there's no easy answer. There's no right answer. Brandon, you're right. I mean, coaches are on a short leash nowadays, shorter than ever. The good news for Jerome Tang, and maybe fans don't see it as good news, is he just got a new contract before the season, and he's way too expensive to fire in this era of pending $20.5 million going to student athletes and rev share. And a lot of athletic departments are going to have to be patient with coaches out of financial necessity, and Kansas State right now is one of them. Not that there was an effort to fire him after this season, but there's just no practicality to it, so there's no reason to really discuss it within official circles. So he does have some time, probably more than next year, to be real honest, based on the finances. So, he's got an opportunity here to be afforded some time and carve out a new reality for his basketball program. And if it doesn't work, well, he's going to be an assistant coach again and be highly successful at that.
Well, we're right in the middle of transfer portal season. It's a critical time for every program in America, but especially K-State as they work on rebuilding their roster. Before we let you go, Fitz, what do you guys have going on at Go Power Cat?
A lot of exactly what we've talked about. We're covering a lot of recruiting, and of course, spring football's open. So we finally have had a couple press conferences. We had some dudes in yesterday, along with associate head coach Van Malone. It was interesting. So we're tracking all of that at Go Power Cat.
All right. Well, enjoy. I would say enjoy the Masters, but you're not a golf guy. Go enjoy a nap and a beer.
Go enjoy an IHOP breakfast. The bacon, the sausage
Yeah.
here. Which one is which?
I'm not touching it. It was a analogy that I regretted immediately. Calling one of you bacon and one of you sausage. It's just delightful to have both of you together.
I mean, if you take a look at both of us, clearly I'm the sausage out of the two. So
I don't even know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
That's exactly my point. I'm just saying. I apologize.
Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, Fitz, we
Thanks,
appreciate
mate.
it. We'll see you next week. All right, there goes Tim Fitzgerald. GoPowerCat.com. If you missed any of that, you can always go back and listen to our conversation on the free Odyssey app. Don't go away. We've got more Sports Daily right after this.